The Colts head coach, Frank Reich, tested positive despite being vaccinated. Dak Prescott's dodging questions about whether or not he's vaxxed. DeAndre Hopkins, adding the NFL, telling them he's not sure about his future in the league because of their new COVID policies. Cole Beasley is the face of the anti-vax movement in the NFL. It's going to get messy. It's already messy. Joey, what are your thoughts on this situation?
I'm sick of it. I'm over this whole vaccinated versus unvaccinated debate going around in the NFL. I just want the season to start already. Honestly, I'm an individual where I believe that everybody has their own choices to make, and whether I agree or disagree, I respect that we live in the United States, a country where you are free to make whatever decision you want. So if you don't want to get the vaccine, you don't have to. And I'm vaccinated, right? So I chose to get it. But if somebody chooses not to get it, I frankly could give one fuck. Maybe that's just me as a person. Like, I really just focus on me. I tweeted this. The world would be so much better if everybody just focused on themselves and stopped ridiculing other people for making decisions in their life. And, I get the whole argument, it's not about you, it's about the other people. Like, yeah, I understand that. And obviously it is a good argument. But at the end of the day, if you're against the vaccine, just don't get it. And personally, I don't know. I don't care. I mean, that could be the downfall of me in my career and trying to build this career in the fantasy football space, because I see a lot of people that are just consistently at Cole Beasley, and I'm like, dude, I really just, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a piece of shit human being. But I just believe everybody has their own choices to make. If they want to make those choices, more power to them. I'm not going to say anything about it. All I know is that if they don't get vaccinated, it's just going to be hell on earth for them. I don't know if you've seen any of like the policies or the rules, I should say, between vaccinated and unvaccinated players. Like, it's crazy the restrictions that have been put in place for the unvaccinated players. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just over it.
Well, we're big on accountability, right? And I personally am a fan of what the NFL is doing. They basically said that if it gets crazy with rescheduling games again, like it did at certain points last year, because of unvaccinated players contracting, the disease or spreading it to their teammates, etc., then the teams have to forfeit the games.
I mean,
right?
I agree.
They're not going to bend over backwards. And I think that is the way that it should be, right?
They should have did that last year.
Absolutely, they should have. So people who are like, they're forcing us to get the vaccine, they're really not. They're just making you be accountable for your choice. Like you said, it's their choice, but you should be accountable for that choice. And I like that aspect of it personally. Yeah. I know people are up in arms about it, but good, man. I mean, how about some accountability?
For sure. And I think what people fail to also recognize is that the NFL is a private business, and private businesses can dictate or put protocols in place like they did to help protect players and coaching staff. So where it's like all tier 1 coaching staff members have to get vaccinated, and if you're unvaccinated, you have to go through strict protocols and guidelines, and you're going to get fined. So people just don't understand the fact that they can do that. It's well within their right in this country to do that, and I agree with them doing it. And the players have to make that decision. If they don't want to get vaccinated, they have to potentially live with the fact that they might cost their team a win or two throughout the season, depending if there's an outbreak. Cole Beasley had a press conference after the Bills' first training camp practice, and he was talking about it, where it's like players that are unvaccinated that might have had a chance in recent years without COVID aren't going to have a chance to make the roster if they're not vaccinated. Like that could be a breaking point for teams if a player chooses not to get vaccinated, and like you said, they're like a 4th, 5th string roster bubble type player. That's a make or break thing for them in 2021 is vaccination status. So definitely going to be a factor. Players aren't going to make teams over it. Players are going to get cut because of it, especially like you said, if they're not superstar players. I will say, speaking about Cole Beasley, I don't think he's going to get cut personally, because he is, I would say, a solid slot wide receiver in the NFL. I know he thinks he's the best, but I mean, that's just wrong. But yeah, I don't think he's going to get cut, but we'll definitely see players lose their jobs because of it, or not get the opportunities that they might once have had.